My friend keeps manipulating me with her autism.
I had a friend that did that.
Oh boy. I have a friend. We're going to call her Jess, 21 female. I've known her for 3 years and we've always gotten along well in the group. I should clarify Jess is autistic. This is not a problem, well, I would hope not, since the whole group has some neurodivergence or something. By the way, this comes from user a dazzling mixture 8980. Last year, a boy joined our group of friends. We will say B, 21H,
I'm not sure what H is, but
21 himbo. I don't know. It could be anything. Now there are 5 of us in the group, 3 girls and 2 boys. He's a great person and gets along well with everyone, especially me. Sometimes Jess tends to use her autism as a way to avoid responsibilities or problems. She also uses it to make plans work her way. Don't get me wrong, sometimes she's absolutely right, and we make adjustments for her, but there are times when the entire group agrees to find a middle ground, and Jess just doesn't want to compromise. Things like specific restaurants, food, places to go, even how we do things. B and Jess dated for 6 months until they broke up due to Jess's personal problems. He was not in a good emotional moment for a relationship, and the healthiest thing was to end it. After that, Jess started ignoring B. It was reasonable, and no one in the group forced anything. But then she started ignoring and excluding me, too. I tried to talk to her, but she downplayed everything and said I was misunderstanding and it was just part of her autism. Of course, I got angry. But I couldn't get anywhere with Jess because she started ignoring me, too, and our other friend told me not to pressure her and not to make things harder. Jess and B started talking again, but Jess continued treating me badly, even yelling at me to F off when she was just standing by the window where she was putting on her makeup. She apologized afterward, but it didn't feel genuine. I haven't spoken to Jess in 2 months, but she contacted me to invite B and I to our hometown pride. She invited the whole group, but she also wanted to bring her ex before B, who we all know because, in her words, he hurt her and she can't push him away because just talking to him brings trauma to her.
Huh?
So, in response to this, B and I said no. And then our friend told us that Jess was sad because we didn't want to meet her ex when she knew we would all get along and be friends. Next month, I'm going with another group of friends to a convention in another state, and Jess was invited. Now I'm worried since in the group we have to communicate and make plans for the trip, but Jess has not been very cooperative. For example, I told him that we should go to a fast food restaurant next to the convention site, and Jess said no because she didn't like that place and that we would go to a restaurant. It should be noted that we are going on a low budget and the convention is 4 days. I told her she could prepare her food at the Airbnb where we are staying and bring it to the event. We have an important rule. Share our location with the group and let us know where we will be since this place is so big. But Jess keeps saying that it seems excessive? Okay. Since we'll be using public transportation to get to the convention site and the Airbnb, we want to have a set checkout time. But Jess also thinks it's excessive and controlling since she wants to have fun because of her autism. Jess hates crowded places, loud noises, or being touched or pushed.
Have you guys explained conventions to her?
Yeah, that's a lot of that. I explained to her that this is going to happen at some point since there are a lot of people, and she asked if I could tell everyone in the group to avoid crowded places and to be attentive to her and her needs. We all said no to Jess, and that in reality, most of us wouldn't even be together since we all want to see different things, and we would only see each other to eat and return to the Airbnb. That's a weird vibe as well.
I'm so confused by this friend group, though.
Yeah.
Like, half the time I'm like, okay, like, valid rules, and the other half I'm like, you guys are planning to go to a convention together, not spend any time at the convention together.
Apparently they're
but you
not
need
planning
shared
to go
locations to go together.
They're like, we're just like carpooling. Yeah,
Yeah,
we go to
we're
the
carpooling
convention,
and
we
staying
just
together.
split up. We'll fragment. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Only see each other to eat and return to the Airbnb is wild. Additionally, I am the person responsible for the trip since I'm taking my younger brother and 2 of his friends, who are all 19 years old, along with another friend of Jess and myself. Jess knows this, and yet she can't commit to following the rules. Now, Jess doesn't talk to the group or me, but she is with other people, especially the friend who protects her and allows her behavior. I don't want her behavior to ruin anyone else's trip. It's been so difficult since she broke up with B, and I'm honestly tired of having to constantly think about not making her feel bad and tread carefully just to avoid drama. My friend told me to post on the alien website where strangers could give me feedback. So, would it be wrong if I ended this friendship to take care of my mental health?
I was gonna say it may be kind of hard before the plans that you guys have in like a couple weeks,
Yeah.
but after that, nah.
I believe it's time to start extracting yourself from the friend group.
You also already had. You said you hadn't talked to Jess for 2 months. Why did we go back?
Yeah, and she invited you to a shindig with her ex.
That you didn't go to.
This group has me questioning my entire reality. But we do have an update.
Great.
Maybe it'll clear things up. We're not friends anymore. Some days ago, we had a small reunion at a friend's house, who we'll call Jake, 21 male. Jess and Jake were drinking while I was talking with another friend. She's in medical school and wants to work as a plastic surgeon. She jokingly was telling us that when she graduates, she wants us all to go to her for whatever work we want. I told her to add me to her wait list since I'm planning to have a front airbag reduction later in life. That's when Jess intervened. She said that I was just crying and making it all about me because I don't need that since I'm not even that big, and as a sapphic, I should like them. So that should be a moment where everyone just goes, "Hey, can you leave?
Right.
Can you actually maybe just leave?"
You actually like
Right
don't
now.
get a say in her front airbags.
Yeah.
Actually.
Jake, who has always enabled her behavior, told me that Jess was right. Others do have problems with their chest, and I should just suck it up, just like Jess does.
Okay, so they all suck.
Okay. I have to say that, in fact, Jess is big, but she likes it. I don't. I never have, and never will. I'm always trying to cover up and use clothes that will make my chest look smaller. Still, I will never in my whole life think about telling someone else how to feel about their own body. Jake kept telling me that all of that was triggering to Jess since she can't have an aesthetical surgery since it's expensive, and I was just showing off my money.
Your friend just said that you would like
That like
I-
the whole point is the friend just said, yeah, like I
give you a
got you guys.
discount. Hey.
Hey, I got you guys. I got you guys with the Tata reductions. Hey. In that moment, my girlfriend intervened. She ripped them both a new one, telling them that Jess will not be triggered all of the time if she just minded her goddamn business and stopped acting as if the world turned around her. Instead of going on her feet and finding a job and some stability in her life, that she was big enough to understand that jobs have rules and not everyone is going to bend over backwards just for her to feel comfortable everywhere she goes.
Oh.
And that's called the cold water. I don't think she's ready for it.
No, I think we're gonna see the reaction though.
She's gonna freak out.
I'm excited.
My girlfriend just took my hand and we left for her apartment. My other friend later told us that Jess had a meltdown. She was crying and accusing my girlfriend and I of being ableist and attacking her. Jake was consoling her, and he posted a long Instagram post about people not understanding neurodivergences and attacking those in need.
Even though you said that every single one of you was neurodivergent.
Right. Right? Oh boy. I just turned off my phone and cried myself to sleep since I felt guilty about everything that happened. The next day, my brother and his best friend came over to my girlfriend's house. To say they were pissed is low. I have known his best friend for about 2 years now. At this point, they are both my little brothers, and they told me not to worry, and they would handle everything since my main concern was the future trip to the convention. It turns out that they both removed Jess from the trip. They paid her back the Airbnb money, even though it will result in them not being able to buy all the figurines they wanted and to sacrifice some autographs. Don't worry, I will buy them for them. And removed her from the group. My brother also explained the situation to the other two people that are going on the trip, and they both understood. Jess tried calling me, but when I didn't answer, she started sending these long texts about how I'm ableist and how I'm attacking her and how I never have supported her. She also texted in a larger group that we have with other friends. I just answered as follows. I'm sorry that you couldn't handle things being said to your face, and since you're telling everyone your stories, then I will tell the truth with proof. I didn't attack you. You were giving unsolicited advice about my body. My girlfriend just responded with the same advice. If you didn't want that, then you should have kept your mouth shut. Remember all of the times that we had group projects and you always criticized everything that I made and changed it all the night before, trying to make it look as if you had done everything?
Read it.
Well,
Read it.
I never turned in those works because you never read the project guidelines, and it was always your part that lowered our points. You shouted at me after every project because I would not just follow your ideas, and then you got angry when I worked with someone else and accused me of not being your friend. I tried to help you find a job. I took you to a job interview with my cousin, and what did you do? You started telling her that you couldn't work more than 1 hour because you needed to take a walk or it would be stressful for you. You then shouted at me and sent me texts telling me how my family were all bad people that wouldn't give you a job. And you stayed friends with this person?
For so long.
The 2 times that you came to my house, you always expected everyone to treat you as if you were royalty and almost threw a fit because my dog was barking too loud. You didn't want us to be friends with B because he was your ex, but wanted to force everyone to like your other ex after you told us he was harmful to you. You screamed at me and my girlfriend for just hanging out with B or talking to him. You couldn't even compromise on following 2 simple rules for a trip to a whole different state because you'd rather party than be safe.
Wait, rather party than be safe, but can't be in crowds, doesn't like to be bummed.
This person is just entirely an enigma.
Yeah.
A mystery wrapped within an enigma. My goodness. You are always attacking everyone that doesn't follow your script on where you are the most perfect person in the world, and I used to bend over backwards just to avoid upsetting you. But now I realize that you only use your neurodivergence as a shield for your own entitlement, and I'm tired of walking on eggshells, and right now I'm choosing my own mental health instead of you. And by the way, we have a little bit more story. We're not quite at the end, but let's check in on how we're thinking right now.
I don't know why you let it go that long. Why we were going to travel out of state with her. That's
Well, I
like,
think it's the whole like neurodivergence thing. It's the whole like using the diagnosis as a shield to like
no, that's 100% like half of what your
excuse
friend
all
was
of your
doing at
behavior.
least. But
And it's really hard. I feel like they're like 21,
yeah.
so like they've grown up in this environment where like that's it's very forward thinking to like put a lot of that. Like, I didn't grow up where that was a thing. Where
What?
it's like the delicateness and like we got to make sure like that this person
Oh,
is
no.
and it was just like what, like shut up, like that's what I grew up with. Not saying that's the best way. I'm just saying that was my reality because that's exactly what this friend would have been told in a group back in the day. It'd be like, oh well, actually I can only do this for like 10 minutes and then also we can't go there and then you can do this and blah, blah, blah.
I'd be like, then maybe you shouldn't
Stop it.
come on this trip.
Yeah.
This is not for you.
Yowza.
You're going to be miserable the whole time in a convention.
Exactly. At the end of the day, I don't care what other like contributing factors surround it. If you're a miserable person, I just
Yeah.
don't want to spend my time with
Yeah.
you. With that, I just sent all of my proof and left the group. I blocked her and Jake since he was only defending Jess. Now we have an extra space on the Airbnb, and my girlfriend's trying to see if her boss will let her have that weekend off so she can come with us. The whole friend group has turned their backs to Jess and Jake, so I hope this update will be the last. I feel like a free person, like a burden, has been lifted off of me. Thank you all for your comments. It really helped me to see that I was not the a-hole in this situation.
Yay.
And that is the end of that story.
OP learned.
It's true. I mean, sent the receipts, and the rest of the group was like, okay, big facts.
They've got each other.
They do. They have each other.
They have each other.
Two little toxic peas in a pod.
My friend refused to sleep in the same bed with me. Now everything's awkward.
What kind of friend?
To preface, she, female 18, and I, female 19, are both college students, albeit at different schools and countries. However, we have been best friends for over 6 years and went to the same high school up until we graduated. Now I go to university in America, and she's in England. By the way, this comes from Princey Pescu. We both come from affluent backgrounds, so it's easy for us to travel. Whenever we do, we usually sleep together. We both have traveled internationally with our families, and we always slept on the same bed. When we were younger, we used to have sleepovers all the time, at least once a week. I continued loving them, and have them with my other friends too, while she gradually started having them less and less, not just with me, but with everyone else too. And then eventually started hating them.
Oh.
However, she can sleep with her boyfriend happily or her little sister. This hurts me because it is my love language and something I need in order to feel loved.
No. I'm sorry, sweetie. Nah, that's not something yet you're entitled to as a person.
Okay. For spring break this semester, I decided to fly over to England. For weeks before this, we talked about the sleeping situation. She has a vacation home in London in which she lives and kept on saying that I will be staying in my own room while she sleeps in hers. Because there's enough rooms to do this.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So you're just going to take the other room, right? I was never okay with this, and we were always bickering back and forth about it, with me wanting to sleep with her and her wanting to sleep alone. Her reasoning was always, we will be together all the time and I'll be overstimulated. But that isn't true. Spring break in America is earlier than it is in England, so while I'm here, she will be at school. I knew this and said I'll be on my own. I wanted to do some shopping anyways. It's not like I'm making her skip school to spend time with me. Listen, you can sleep here for free in my guest room, or you can go pay for it somewhere.
Yeah, no, like, there's truly nothing left to say when someone's like, no. And I feel like this person is just being like, yeah, but shouldn't they say yes? No. They said no.
No's an answer.
They said no. That's it.
Because also, like, I feel like my love languages would be different for friends versus, like, actual partners. Like, if they're the same thing, I'd kind of be like, oh, what are we doing here? This whole time, her answer has never been a straight no. It was always ambiguous. We eventually came to a compromise when we were back in our home countries for Christmas break, where I was going to sleep with her until I got tired of her. The thing is, we both know we won't want to sleep together for 10 days straight. Usually after 2 days, I'm tired of her. But I think that I should have the option to decide when it is that I want to stop sleeping with her. And she shouldn't just say that I can't sleep with her, especially when I flew across a whole 7 hours to see her across a different continent. So she doesn't get a say in anything, and you get all the say.
I flew 7 hours across the Atlantic Ocean so I could cuddle you. And you're going to tell me I can't? You can't. Tell me no.
So fast forward to yesterday, I get to England and everything is great. We met up with some friends and she showed me around. When we got back to her place, she started carrying my suitcase up. I thought she was going to put it in her room, 2nd floor, but she continues carrying it up to the 3rd floor where my room is. I started being like, that's not what we agreed on. And then she's like, it's not that big of a deal. We'll spend every second of every day together up until the last minute, and then you just go up to your room to sleep. We argued for a good 10 minutes, and she finally said, fine, you can sleep with me, but just know I'm unhappy with it, and I don't want this, which caused me to burst into tears. She gets so mad, saying, you always do this. You always cry when you don't get your way, and then angrily pulls my suitcase down to her room, then slams the door when I'm crying. This obviously caused me to cry harder, so I sit in the hallway just trying to call my other friend for some support. Like, this is also the situation where it would be great to have your own space to go to, your own room to go cry in. She comes out a few minutes later asking if I'm ready to be an adult. And at this point, I'm so mad that I don't reply. So she slams the door again. After sitting there for probably 40 to 50 minutes crying, I decide to go up to my original room and see that she made the bed and everything, which meant that she was planning for me to stay there the whole time. Yeah. Really? Never would have guessed.
Like, this is like I will like, again, like, I'll wish you the best, but like, trip's over. Let's work your flight around because I don't think I can be friends with you anymore after this.
Right. It's not even like friend is on vacation too. Friend's in school. This is your vacation.
Yeah, it's just an
Like,
absurd thing. It's like, this is something that you can clearly grow and change and like realize, oh, that was absurd of me to demand that stuff. But until you do that, I'm like, it's gonna happen.
P.S. The room is not bad or anything. It's not like she's making me stay in the attic. The house is a nice multi-million-dollar property, so everything is very fancy. I just don't want to stay alone. After a while, I went back down to her room to get my suitcase and tell her I'm sleeping upstairs, while visibly crying, and she starts laughing, making jokes and asking me to talk. I don't, and finally move my suitcase up to my room when I hear the door slam hard again. This time, I'm crying even harder and almost having a panic attack because 1, she didn't stop me, and 2, she was okay seeing me cry like that. At this point, I really contemplated calling my mom to get me the F out of England. The thing is, my family also has a vacation home in France where my brother is currently staying for his spring break. But because I was planning on going to London, I didn't make a Schengen visa. We are both non-European and non-American. But I could make a Schengen visa really quick and go there. I just didn't know if that was too much, because if I did that, I'm sure our friendship would have been permanently damaged.
It's already permanently damaged.
Because of you.
It should be. This should be permanent damage.
And the only reason why I didn't call my mom was because I was scared she was going to hate my best friend. Also, last night when I was half asleep, I heard her come into my room calling for me. Then, when she saw that the lights were off and I was sleeping, she left. So I guess she did try, or maybe I'm just making excuses for her. Anyways, it is the next morning. We've barely said 2 words to each other. I'm in my room and wondering, would I be overreacting if I just got an e-visa and went to France? I truly am in disbelief of what happened last night. I'm numb and it's extremely awkward between us. I feel like going to France would alleviate the uncomfortableness for now, but if we are going to stay friends, it would be hella awkward later. The thing is, I already once broke up with her, and we didn't talk for 6 months. And you're speaking as though you guys are dating.
Right. It's really being like, it's really giving like, but this is your partner. And that's why this is so absurd.
It took months of her groveling and our mutual friends involved for me to even hear her out. So I'm just confused as why she's risking me breaking up with her again. So,
Wait, I know why. Because you're exhausting.
You're also not dating. It's not breaking up.
Oh my God. She's risking it because it's not a risk. She's like, that would be great if this person left me alone.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, am I overreacting for all of this? And would I be overreacting even more if I go to France? Edit. The amount of people calling me attracted to the same gender or a predator, WTF, we are both straight and both had boyfriends before.
You literally said breaking up.
Right.
That's not an assumption.
I also think the majority of y'all don't understand our friendship dynamics. I don't think you understand your friendship dynamics.
Yeah.
We are closer than the stars and the moon.
No, you're not.
Our phone passwords are each other's birthdays. We share social media accounts. We're on call 24/7 and even sleep on call. Heck, we even have access to each other's credit cards on Apple Pay, just in case. It's just my logic is, if we were on a trip, we would share rooms. Obviously to save money. Owns the house.
There's no money to be saved.
Owns the house.
What is like on the electric bill?
Right.
Like.
And if we already sleep on call every day, how is it any different with me physically there? I also just want to say I'm a very emotional person. I've noticed. I can't help but cry even at the smallest things. It's not a tactic I use to manipulate people, at least not intentionally. I went to therapy when I was in 11th grade, and it basically had something to do with the fact that my parents were very absent in my life. I was raised by nannies. So crying was the only way I knew how to get attention. So you are using it as a slight manipulation tactic, and you are aware. I truly am not doing it on purpose, and oftentimes am actually ashamed of how easily I cry. We have some comments. Commenter 1. You may want to consider therapy. I don't think this is regular best friend behavior. We have a reply. Totally not. Troubled rich girl. Commenter 2. OP, you legit have problems that you need to deal with professionally. You are needy and clingy. To a point where it is not normal and very concerning. It's so bad I thought this was a joke post because you are overreacting to a point where it is not okay, and I don't know if you are just so spoiled or are we about to witness a Lifetime movie situation?
Wow.
And we have more, but how you feeling?
Oh my god. Is this, I don't even know if this could be classified as like rich people problems. This is just like,
I feel as though maybe the like always getting her way could be classified that way, but I still think this is well beyond anything like that.
oh yeah, that could be right. Well, she's just
So,
used
like
to
demanding like, I want it now.
Mommy, I need it now. She's Veruca Salt.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's what I was going for.
I want the squirrel now, Daddy. You can't reason with someone once they're in this state, I
Yeah.
don't think. Like, there's no working around it. There's no working through it. It's just like, you've got stuff to figure out. You're gonna have to figure it out without me, I guess.
We have an update. She asked what I wanted for dinner, and I said rice, and I thought we were going to order in, but she began cooking. She cooked in silence, and we ate in silence, and then she did the dishes in silence. Neither of us said sorry. I tried making conversation multiple times, but she wasn't receptive. I even poked her armpit.
Like she's a specimen of some kind?
What? Is that your failsafe where things really go to like DEFCON 2?
That's, yeah.
Did you tell your therapist
That's the
that one?
parachute. Yeah.
Ooh. This was just getting too awkward. So I submitted a visa app, and I should be getting it in 2 days. I called my brother, and he'll be there to pick me up at the airport in France. My mom doesn't know yet, and I'll have to come up with some stupid excuse as to why I'm leaving London. You should tell her you poked your friend's armpit.
Yeah. I poked my friend's armpit and it ruined the whole trip. I'm sorry, everybody.
Because she didn't want to
I'm
snuggle
sorry,
me
Mom.
in bed. If she ever found out the truth, I think she would never let me talk to my best friend again.
Not your best friend!
As for my best friend, she doesn't know I'm leaving yet, and I'll be doing it when she's at school. So healthy. I'm also packing up a duffel bag for today and moving to a friend's dorm while I wait. My best friend thinks it's just a one-day sleepover. I'll let her know once I'm on the plane or something, but yeah. I'm not going to end our friendship over this because I always told myself if I do break up with her again, it'll be the last and final time, and she won't ever hear from me again.
Oh, no.
I just want to be sure that this is the end, and I don't think it's there yet. It'll take some time for me to forgive her, but I think I can do it. And that's the end of that.
Enjoy France, girl.
Yeah. Are you gonna stay in the same room with your brother, too? You gonna snuggle him?
Yeah, you're gonna go to the hotel, the front desk, the concierge, and be like, so who will you be providing for
Who's
me to
your-
sleep with tonight? And they're like, oh, we do not do this.
Who's your designated snuggler here?
Yes, I'm looking for a snuggler.
They must
get
be
your mind
okay
out of
with
the
me
gutter.
poking their armpit.
Yeah. Yes.
They're
Is
a little
this
grumpy.
The Snuggler Hotel. My best friend turned my grief into her drama, and I finally snapped.
What? Like a rubber band. Thanos.
I, 20 female, have been friends with Ophelia, not a real name, 20 female, since 7th grade. We started off as those friends who hated each other but grew closer. Or so I thought. You see, we were put in a small class and the group circle was about 10 people. I thought Ophelia and I were going to hang on to each other, but she kept ignoring me for a more extroverted girl, so I just adjusted and went well with another girl of the group who Ophelia hated and still does. This is a
Wow.
messy way to start
Wow.
a friendship. Mind you, these girls were really different from us. My family and Ophelia's were more protective, and hers were slightly more religious than mine. When the vid hit, we were in the 9th grade and didn't see each other for a few months. Then dissolved because of change of schools, and that Ophelia and I weren't allowed to go out with those girls. And by the way, this comes from user Public Nebula 8028. So, I still talk to that girl I befriended. She's a nice fellow. I don't talk to the rest of the girls, understanding how they had belittled me and how they had ignored my anxiety issues and struggles because one of the girls had figured that she was bi and had a crush on our physics teacher. I was in peace without them. During the vid, Ophelia messaged me saying that she was fed up with those girls and we reconnected. Me, Ophelia, and a girl from the group, Sierra, got into the same high school. I genuinely liked Sierra, but Ophelia told me to ignore her because she didn't like her. I didn't listen, though. I kept a fair connection with Sierra even after she changed her school. For the next 2 years, Ophelia and I kept the connection since we didn't match with the girls in our new class. That is until senior year when a new girl, Tysa, joined and all of our classmates started picking on her because of her spicy sleep preferences. I really liked Tysa because she was nice and funny and we had so much in common, but Ophelia decided to dislike her too, probably because of her religious views on people who aren't hetero.
And I've lost a lot of respect for Ophelia here.
Yeah, that's really nobody's problem. Why do we got problems with that, huh? Again, I kept in touch with Tysa. I published my book in my 3rd language in 2025. And Ophelia's honest reaction to this was, why would I buy it? I don't know that language. And then persuaded to buy a bag that cost 3 times more than my book. She's right, though.
I mean, you can still buy it in support of, like, pricing, but...
I imagine maybe
book
she bought the
sales.
first 2 books. Ophelia and I happened to go into the same university in 2 different majors. She went for psychology, and I study English literature. We don't share classes, but we run into each other and sometimes have lunch. Ophelia professionally went for lead character syndrome after choosing her major. She would pick on everything. Things I said based on my knowledge were false obligations she raced to deny. All of my messages about struggles and bad mood turned into hour-long speeches on Ophelia's personality. My achievements were stuff she could belittle by complaining about her bad mood. 2 times, like after midnight, Gremlins, she would message me saying that there was something bothering her. I panicked and told my mom about it. Then she opened my eyes to a fact. This was a one-way friendship. I was always the listener and the problem solver, the calmer, the person Ophelia could look up to because she's an only child. Of course, my mom suggested I set some boundaries, but what I didn't tell her at the time was that Ophelia is an evil manipulator. You need to walk on eggshells around her. She's not the kind of person you can easily open up to, not because you'll be judged, but because she doesn't care or remember and will quickly change the subject to something stupid. Her cousin, whom you don't give an F about, said. Heck,
Okay.
I know Ophelia's great aunts, but she doesn't even know my sister's name. I talk about my sister all the time. Ophelia is so self-centered that every small detail in life is a huge matter to her, except mine, apparently. Like, she once talked for 5 minutes straight about how the receptionist at the dentist got the card pin wrong. Oh, and she expects reactions. I'm not a reacting kind of person. All of my family and friends know this. But it's somehow unacceptable to Ophelia. My older cousin, Melissa, studies at the same university as I do, and she knows Ophelia. She and Ophelia dislike each other. Melissa thinks Ophelia is self-centered and dominant, and Ophelia just doesn't like cousin. No idea why. A shocker. Maybe because the
She's
cousin
on to
can
her.
call her on her BS.
Right.
I know you probably have understood how awkward I am at making friends, especially with guys, but I befriended a classmate of mine, Edgar, 21, whom I genuinely am fond of. The sibling kind, not romantically, I promise. and being awkward to make friends and social anxiety is what we bonded over. I like him because he doesn't spiritualize a woman like most of the guys in my class do. And he likes me because I'm easy to be around and not flirty like many other girls. At the time, I developed a crush on one of mine and Edgar's mutual friends, Ben, 24, but haven't told anyone much about it, especially Edgar. I don't want us talking about love and partners. Ben owns a coffee place close to campus, and I trust them because the coffee shops around campus aren't safe places. At one point, I thought Ben might like me since I caught him staring at me and turned away the moment I looked. But that was never a subject of our conversations. Plus, he told me that he had ended his relationship. We were just talking about anxiety and our struggles. So, one time, I took Ophelia to Ben's coffee house for her birthday, and she found out I liked Ben. So she started to embarrass me by glaring at Ben and talking rudely. No offensive words, just the way that she talked. But Ben was polite enough to let it slide, even though he looked uncomfortable. Afterwards, I visited Ben's coffee house alone and didn't even mention them to Ophelia. Ophelia would later see me talking and laughing with my classmates and called them pick-me girls while they were just being friendly. Says the most pick-me girl in the story. So at the same time, Ophelia forced me to hang out with her outrageous friends from psychology departments who offended me a million times, but I didn't mention it, knowing I would receive no support from Ophelia. One time I was handling something important on my phone and didn't pay attention to Ophelia's babbling, so she yelled at me in front of her group of friends, even though I told her I didn't know her friends well enough to be yelled at in front of them. That's not really a metric for being yelled at. But Ophelia said, I talk to you however I want. Oh, brother. Later, I was the one apologizing for not paying enough attention to her, and she somehow became the bigger person and forgave me. How sweet of her. After that, I walked on thin ice, not wanting to belittle myself by making situations that would make Ophelia accuse me of things. This spring, I was on a family trip with my cousin, Melissa's sister, when their car crashed with a truck, and my cousin didn't make it. Wait. And oh my,
I forgot this had to do with grief. Oh my god.
that's terrible. Okay, so I was on a family trip with my cousin, and their car crashed with a truck, and my cousin, her husband, and one of her children, both of their children passed away. Everyone passed away in the car. Everyone's gone. That's so terrible.
Oh my god.
That's really bad. So once I learned about this, I called Ophelia sobbing. She clicked her tongue, and I hung up and didn't talk to her for a week. You should
just keep not talking to her.
Exactly. Keep that streak alive.
Just forever.
I got sick and for a period after the crash and mentally messed up. Ophelia was kind enough to ask me how I was doing a couple times, but resumed telling me silly stories about her life on the third day after the crash and expected me to react. Even when we went back to college, I wanted to be with Melissa the whole time to watch her because that's what every normal human does, but not Ophelia. One time at lunch, Melissa and I were talking about our loved ones who had passed when Ophelia interrupted by telling a disgusting story about her dentist. Last month, something critical happened in the country, so Ophelia was in the chat 24/7, complaining about her anxious mood, but I was fed up and knew that whatever I say would not affect Ophelia a bit, so I didn't reply. That got her even more furious to why I wasn't participating. I had to build a whole scenario about not having signal or internet to reach out while I could and just didn't want to, which was fabulous for my mental health.
You know, this is when we turn our phone off, mute Ophelia, do not look at it, take our time to grieve a tremendous loss, and then don't come back. Let's just not go back to Ophelia ever. Let's just realize as we're healing that we don't need her. Bye.
See you never, Ophelia. Bye. Edgar isn't really comfortable around girls, and I respect that. One time, him and I were at Ben's cafe with some friends. The friends left, and him and I were alone for about an hour. So we talked about my next book, and he gave me some ideas about the cover. It was going really good and was productive until Ophelia called and stopped by because her class was canceled. As soon as she arrived, she began rude behavior to Edgar and Ben. Edgar left only 2 minutes after she arrived, and Ben ignored me for the rest of my stay. I later had to apologize to Edgar about Ophelia's behavior, but he dismissed, saying that there were a few guys at the cafe who didn't seem really safe, and he didn't want to leave me there, or else he would have left sooner. But he didn't say that he was not upset with Ophelia. I'm not a misogynist, but if I received messages from Edgar and Ophelia at the same time, I would 100% answer to Edgar first.
Does it make you a misogynist? Wait. Back up. What? What?
That is maybe the most... I know that we've had a lot of crazy things happen in this story. That might be the craziest thing I've heard. Ophelia has strange boundaries that don't work for me. She doesn't get upset by people's passing and saying that she can't fake it. She doesn't accept possibilities. She will cut all ties if you say you might do something and then don't do it. She is allowed to have space to herself, but I don't. She thinks she has authority over who I like. She thinks I need someone at least 10 years older. She goes on and on and on and on about religion and her beliefs, even though she knows I'm not religious and don't care. She sends me songs of genres and singers I don't like. She buys me books that she likes, but not anything I ask for. She doesn't like my social circle. I'm not allowed to like them either. She doesn't support anything I do, saying we don't like similar things. She ignores my wishes. She finds a way to make everything about herself. She doesn't take jokes, believing everything should be philosophical and about God. She dismisses my knowledge on everything because I misunderstood a part of something. Doesn't mean I'm always wrong. She calls on her schedule when she can, then gets mad if I can't answer. She gets mad if I try a new snack and don't tell her about it. She doesn't believe anyone is good enough for her. She gets all defensive if I tell her stuff about her. That bothers me. Our recent fight was about this. We have free will. You don't have to do this. Oh, our recent fight was about this. After 8 years of friendship, Ophelia doesn't know my birthday. I remember hers and planned the whole thing ahead, but she didn't know mine up until 3 months ago. A month ago, I learned about gaslighting and decided to practically teach it to her as a silly joke, really. I told her my birthday would be 1 month earlier than its actual date. It's August 20th. I said it was July 20th. And she kept saying that I was born in August until I said this exactly. This is called gaslighting. And I honestly thought she got what I was doing was a joke. 3 weeks ago, my late cousin's son passed away. I adored that kid, but there was nothing anyone could do for his injuries. I got quiet and private for a few days, but received a birthday wish from Ophelia on July 20th and laughed because I thought she was continuing the joke. A few days ago, I finally could call Ophelia, and 30 minutes into talking, I asked why she wished me a happy birthday that day. She was shocked and mad and told me that I never corrected her on the birthday date exactly and that I was a horrible person who manipulated her beliefs.
Yeah, I don't think you should have done that, but sure.
I apologized repeatedly, saying that I never thought an innocent joke would become so serious to her. I hung up saying that my overall well-being was nowhere near dealing with such stuff. And we do have a little bit more story left.
I don't know why we're still friends with her or why we're continuing these bits.
It's nonsensical. 2 nights ago, she messaged me saying I was an a-hole for bringing up my grief and using it as an excuse to escape a conversation like that, but she would forgive me. I once again apologized, but she said that it wasn't about apologies. I don't know what that means. That would have been a careless and dorky joke within my family and other friends. I thought it would be the same with Ophelia. I'm dealing with too many things at the moment, not just grief. I'm sick of dealing with Ophelia's drama. I don't care about her or her drama anymore. I am fed up. Am I the a-hole? What am I supposed to do?
You are the a-hole to yourself. Stop being friends with this girl. That's insane, man.
I agree. You're being the a-hole to yourself. And I'm sorry for all of the folks out there who are unable to cut people off like this. I don't know, man. That's unbelievable to me.